From WFIU in Bloomington, Indiana, I'm Kate Young, and this is Earth Eats.
That's what you want. You don't want to beat up your dough. So it takes about half the actual mixing time, less friction, less heat added to the dough.
This week on the show, we focus on tools of the trade. Muddy Fork Bakery upgraded their dough mixer, and it turned out to be a game changer. Hot sauce production is made easier with a hand crank food mill. And if you ever accidentally purchase the wrong kind of rice in Tokyo, never fear, they have coin-operated kiosks to help you out. Those stories and more are just ahead, plus an introduction to our new project, Nice Work. Stay with us. Thanks for listening to Earth Eats. I'm Kate Young. Eric Shedler is a baker and an owner of Muddy Fork Bakery. I've featured him on the show a number of times over the years. He's taught us how to make pita bread, pizza, soft pretzels, sourdough. He's really good at what he does. My favorite thing that they make at the bakery is croissants. They have mastered the art of lamination. I especially love the ones that they roll up in a flat spiral like a cinnamon roll, but so different from a cinnamon roll. It's all layered in paper-thin strips, and the spiral form makes it bake up kind of crispy. I was picking up some of these freshly baked treats from Muddy Fork at the farmer's market one Saturday, and Eric and I were chatting, like you do, and he mentioned that they had just got a new mixer. He was all excited about it, talking about the mechanism and how it changed the structure of the dough. Really? I asked. I think I need to see this for myself. I headed out there a few weeks later so Eric could tell me all about it.
So yeah, this is our new Italian spiral mixer. It's pretty standard kind of mixer for a bakery, but it took us, 15 years to grow into it.
Yeah, what was your mixer like before?
Well, the first year or more was everything mixed by hand in a tub, up to a maximum of 40 loaves. And then we bought our first mixer, so we used a Hobart for like the last 10 years.
And was it kind of a similar size, but just a different type of mixer?
It took up, interestingly, more space than this, but the bowl was not as big. It was a 80-quart Hobart, and the action on a Hobart is called a planetary style mixer because the motion of the hook resembles a planet going around the sun, like the direction of travel and then the spinning as it goes. But they're kind of, if you watch them do dough, it's the same thing your KitchenAid does. It's pretty inefficient. Like, how often do you use your KitchenAid to make your bread dough?
Almost never.
Yeah, well, there you go. It'll beat up your dough and it will still leave flour at the bottom, and it's not very efficient. It's good, not a helpful tool over doing everything by hand, but not really the ideal kind of tool for bread operation. We finally upgraded to a spiral mixer, which uses a different action. The hook is offset and the bowl spins as it mixes. And you can watch it really stretching and folding as it goes around. And it doesn't ever handle the whole bowl at once. It works in its side of the bowl. So you'll see it in a minute when we turn it back on.
So it has a whole different kind of action. And you're saying it's folding and stretching, which is what you would do by hand.
Yes, yeah, which is what you want. You don't want to beat up your dough. So it takes about half the actual mixing time, less friction, less heat added to the dough. And it's a nicer dough, and it's because it's built for what it is, it's less taxing to work with physically.
How so?
Well, it's elevated, so you can see the bottom of the bowl is above my knee. So when you need to reach in, you're not bending all the way over. Mm-hmm. You can reach in at, elbow height, or it's a little below my elbows because I'm tall, but it's a lot, and it's a big wide bowl, so you're not reaching down as far into it. So it's a lot easier on the body to get the dough out. Mm-hmm. That's like the main thing, that with a deep, low sitting, narrow bowl is really hard. And we would lift it, which is also taxing. If you do it 10 times a day, lifting a bowl that already starts at 50 pounds or something, plus all your dough. And then the other thing we had to do, adapting a Hobart to bread making or hacking it. It's almost like a hack. It would always leave flour at the bottom. And so we'd be having to scrape all the way to the very bottom and push water down in there in between first mix and second mix. And you just don't have to do that with this.
I bet that cuts down on a lot of
Yeah, how
labor
much less
and
tired are
interaction.
you at the end of the day, Max?
I mean, yeah, it's cutting like an hour off of my shift, so it's an hour less scooping and mixing I have to do. Yeah, just fewer bowl lifts. It makes a huge difference.
That's Max Meyer. He's a miller, a mixer, and a baker. He leads the bread program out at Muddy Fork.
We notice when we're shaping that the dough has more cohesion, more strength to it. You can stretch it a little farther, get a nice tight ball out of it. It's easier to work with, and it's giving us just, another little bit of a taller loaf. And I think it's giving us more consistency. I think you can dial in what you're trying to get in your mix more precisely and more consistently week to week. Yeah, so one of the big time savers is the next batch that's going in after this one is one that we had to do in 3 separate mixes with our old bowl, and now we can do it in 1 mix. So we just cut out that chunk of the day.
Wow, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, and I think, our particular size at this moment in time, this mixing shift was I would say barely doable by one person. It's the maximum of what you could do is 8 hours, a lot of heavy lifting. And it's 6 hours of the same kind of work is a lot easier than 8 hours of that kind of work. And it's a little less hard on you.
Can you make, and are you making more bread? I mean, you talked about,
It wasn't
you talked
really
a
for
little,
that.
yeah.
It was, business wise, I had to make a decision. Do I keep putting money into do repairs on an older mixer that's not really ideal for a bread operation, or do I get another mixer that is in better condition and will also make things easier? But it wasn't really intended for upscaling.
Yeah.
Does that mean it's about ready to start mixing?
Yeah, so I just have to measure at the starter, and then that's ready to mix.
So we do 2 mixes. We do an initial mix that is just to combine the ingredients, and then it has an autolyse, which is a rest time. And then we add the salt, and starter is now all going in on the second mix.
So is this the autolyse right now?
Yeah, this
For
is
this-
our Jewish rye, and there's no starter or salt in there yet, but it's going to go in soon.
Starter and
Everything gets
salt
about a
goes in.
20-minute rest from between the first and second, and then you can mix it less because it starts to develop on its own. Same strategy you do at home if you make a minimally kneaded bread and then you fold it every half hour.
Doesn't it also kind of develop the flavor a little bit more too?
You definitely get different things happening biologically, chemically. When you give your dough an autolyse, you get some enzyme development that happens in the absence of salt. In particular, you get more protease enzymes, which give your dough, in theory, more extensibility at the shaping and baking stage, which is its capacity to stretch out without ripping. But I think most of the flavor then comes from what do you do after it's out of the bowl? How long? Well, there's so many factors. What's the temperature? How much starter is going into it? How ripe is your starter? And then how much time does it get bulk fermenting? At what temperature? And then once you've shaped it, again, does it proof at room temperature? Does it proof cold? How long? All those things change the flavor balance.
Right. Can you say again what extensibility is? I know we've talked about it before, but it's been years.
Right. So wheat family doughs, the wheat has protein in it, and the protein is referred to as gluten, and the gluten structure is really 2 different qualities and 2 different kinds of proteins that work in tandem. So you have glutenins and gliadins, and one contributes elasticity to the dough, so its tendency to hold its shape and pull back when you stretch on it. And the other quality is extensibility, where you can stretch out your dough to a certain degree without it ripping. And each variety of wheat has a different balance between those qualities and a total amount of gluten or total amount of structure to it. So there's weaker doughs, stronger doughs. There's some that are more in the elasticity, some that are more extensible and less elastic. And so, yeah, each dough feels different because of that different balance. And for the ideal tall hearth-baked loaf, you have to have both qualities. If you don't have enough extensibility, then it can't spring in the oven. So that's one place where you need a certain amount for optimum oven spring and total volume. But then too much. I say too much because the whole art of baking is about coaxing all the different doughs into something pleasing. But yeah, when you have a lot of extensibility in your dough, it's challenging to get a tall loaf because the dough will want to run, stretch out.
Interesting. Thanks for explaining that.
Max is now ready to add the starter and the salt.
And so you're just watching a scale to figure out how much you're getting out.
Yeah, just pulling the amount I need out of the bucket. Salt in and hydrate that with some water.
Time to turn on the mixer.
That is really cool.
It's reversible, which is pretty cool. Running it in reverse at the beginning of your mix helps. It seems to do a better job of getting all the flour hydrated.
Stirring it.
And
more.
yeah, I think you can watch the dough change as it goes through the phases of mixing. It's pretty cool. You can see the stretch and fold action a little bit with this one. Now we have the fun part of pulling the dough out.
It's not a big deal with this dough.
No.
So much better on this one, not having to do it sitting on a bucket on the floor.
So do you not have to take this bowl off at all?
It doesn't come off.
Wow, okay.
Straight into the machine.
And then does it drain?
No, you just don't pour a lot of water in it when you clean it. Mostly scrape it. Try to get as much as you can by scraping. You know, it's like your tabletop.
Yeah.
Try to get as much as you can off by scraping first with a plastic scraper, and then a little bit of water to soften it. Finish cleaning it up with a wet towel.
Is this water for the next batch?
Yeah, this is where the...
It's really cool. I love the action.
It's been there for 3 minutes and it's already dough. 9 gallons of water and 90-ish pounds of flour.
It feels both incredibly powerful and very gentle.
Yes, I agree with that.
That was Eric Shedler and Max Meyer with the new Italian spiral mixer at Muddy Fork Bakery. After a quick break, we're going to make some habanero sauce. Stay with us. The time has come to make the hot sauce. Every year for I don't know how many years, I have been making habanero hot sauce. One of the reasons I love doing this is because the peppers are so easy to grow. The plants are beautiful. Nothing ever seems to bother them. There's never any pests or disease. They do fine with a lot of water or not much water. They're just gorgeous in the garden, especially once the peppers start turning color. I have 2 varieties this year, orange and red. They're so gorgeous and so productive. I've gotten hundreds of peppers already off these, and there's more coming. I also happen to have a lot of friends who like hot sauce. I get a big kick out of making a huge batch of hot sauce and then bottling it up and giving it away to my friends. The past couple of years, I have learned that it is best to do this outside. I borrowed a camp stove from a friend, and it was so great to not have all the fumes from these habaneros in my kitchen. It really can get very intense. The air is just thick with it. People are crying as they walk through the kitchen. So doing it outside is much better. And today it is a gorgeous day in early September. It's sunny, breezy, cool. It's like 67 degrees out here. I am on my front porch because I kind of wanted to have the shade of the porch. Got a table set up, got all my stuff. We're gonna make the hot sauce outside on the camp stove. But first, we've got to prepare all of the ingredients.
make 8 batches in one pot. My ingredient list is 4 onions, 2 quarts of apple cider vinegar, 8 teaspoons of honey, 40 garlic cloves, 8 carrots, 2 quarts of water, 16 teaspoons of salt, and 96 habaneros. Of course, if you're just making a single batch, you only need 12 peppers. One of the things I love about this recipe is it's really simple. You just combine all of the ingredients into the pot, you bring it to boil and let it simmer till everything softens, and then you blend it, and I always run it through a food mill because I like to get all the seeds and everything out and make a nice smooth sauce. So let's get started. All you have to do with the peppers, you don't have to cut them up or anything. You just take the stems off and drop them in the pot. Next, I'm going to work on the garlic. All I really need to do with the garlic is get them peeled. I need 40 cloves. Because I'm doing a mass amount, I'm going to use that trick where you put the garlic in a metal bowl and you put another metal bowl on top of it and you just slam it around to get this peels off. I've done it before. It works really well. So I'm going to get 40 cloves of garlic into this bowl. I've got all these garlic cloves in one bowl. I'm going to put another bowl on top, and I'm going to shake it like crazy. Worked pretty good. Some of these are fully peeled, and some of them are just, the peel is just so loosened that it just slips right off. It's a really great method for when you need to peel a bunch of garlic. Probably not worth it for just 2 or 3. All right, that's it. The garlic is peeled, and now I can use this bowl to put all the stems and everything in. Carrot peels, onion peels. It's perfect. All right. On to, I think next we're going to work on the carrots. Many people I know would choose not to peel the carrots, but I find that the peels lend a slight bitterness to the sauce, and so I like to go ahead and peel them. All right, so that's 8 carrots. You want to cut the carrots up pretty small because they're going to take the longest to cook. So the smaller they are, the faster they're going to cook, and we want everything in the pot to reach a nice level of softness before we go to blend. So just try to cut them pretty small. They don't need to be pretty or uniform or anything like that. The carrots are going to really lend a lot of body to the sauce and also just a note of sweetness, but they are really going to help with the texture of the sauce, kind of thicken it up. Next, we're going to get the onions chopped up. Same thing with these, just fairly rough chop. Doesn't have to be pretty, doesn't have to be uniform. All going to get blended up into a sauce. All right, we got our 4 onions and our 8 carrots all peeled, chopped up, and into the pot. Now it's just a matter of measuring the rest of the ingredients and cooking the sauce down. So we need 2 quarts of apple cider vinegar and then equal parts water. So 2 quarts of water. I need 2 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons of honey. All right, we got the honey in there. Only thing left is the salt. Okay, it's going to be 5 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay, we are all set on the ingredients. Everything is in the pot. Now just to get it on the heat. So I need to set up the camp stove, and then we're ready to roll. Okay, I got the camp stove all set up. Now it is time to light it and get the hot sauce going. And I have all the ingredients in one big stock pot. And I'm just going to bring it to boil. And then once it comes to a boil, I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit and just let it simmer till all the vegetables are softened, especially the carrots. The carrots, like I said before, are going to take the longest. So we'll just keep testing those. And once they get soft enough, then we'll be ready to blend it. So the habanero hot sauce has been cooking for about 30 or 40 minutes. Everything is beginning to soften. The carrots are totally done. I'm not quite sure about the peppers yet, but I think they're getting close. And I'm going to go ahead and begin to blend the sauce. All right, so what I'm going to be using to blend this is a stick blender, also sometimes called an emulsion blender. This works really great in a hot pot like this. You can just blend it directly in the pot, no transferring it to anything. So I'm going to go ahead and start that. First, I'm going to turn off the heat though. Hoo-wee. And this is the place where the fumes get really intense. If we were doing this indoors, the kitchen would be on fire right now. Just all of that heat coming from those peppers is just right in your face when you're over this, blending it. Oh, it's really getting to me. All right, it's looking pretty smooth. It's also looking pretty thin, so I'm going to cook it for a little bit longer just to reduce it some before I pass it through the food mill. Okay, we have been cooking this for a little bit, trying to reduce it down some so it's not quite so thin. Oh, oh, wow. Oh. The steam just hit me. Yeah, that is some pretty serious fumes. Okay, this is why we make the hot sauce outside. This is why I got the camp stove. So now it's time to put it through the food mill. If you don't know what a food mill is, there's a famous kind of classic brand called Foley Food Mill. You might have heard of it with that title. The one I have is not a Foley, but it does the same thing. It's just a device that you can kind of push things through and it will filter out all of the kind of skins and seeds and stuff that you might not want in there. And then just this nice velvety sauce is what's left. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and then I'm going to put it all through this food mill and see what we've got. All right, let's go. The way that a food mill works is there's a circular kind of blade or paddle that when you rotate it around with a hand crank, it pushes the food through a sieve. And then at the end, what you're left with is this really nice, smooth sauce. And all of the skins and all of the seeds from the peppers have been filtered out. It's just all really nice and smooth. I'm going to cook it down just a tiny bit more to just get it a little bit less thin, and then we'll be all done and ready to bottle. Unlike most things that I make, tasting hot sauce is not something you can just really do right as you're making it, because hot sauce isn't something that you just eat by the spoonful. I mean, I guess some people do, but I do not. So today I've just got a simple cheese quesadilla and I'm gonna try my habanero hot sauce. Shake it up. And for me, a little bit goes a long way. Whew. Okay, yeah, it's very hot. It's very hot. The edges of my tongue are really burning and tingling right now, but it has such a great flavor. I love the fruitiness of the habanero. It's there in the aroma too. It's so delicious. I love it. I do really enjoy this hot sauce. Just a couple of drops on a quesadilla or a few drops in some eggs or some other dish that just didn't get quite spicy enough. Enjoy at your own discretion.
We're back. This is Earth Eats, and I'm Kate Young. I had the chance to visit Tokyo last year. It was a family vacation. Of all the possible food stories I could tell from my visit, I was only interested in one: the rice polishing kiosk. David Gann, my friend from high school, lives outside of Tokyo in Saitama, and he told me about stumbling upon one of these on a walk home one night. I was baffled and intrigued and told him I had to see it for myself. On the day we planned to meet, David had secured a big bag of brown rice and hauled it around in a rolly suitcase all day, and then met up with us at a train station. He and his friend Aiko had located a rice polishing station in a neighborhood inside Tokyo, not as far away as the one that David first came across. In fact, it was close to where Aiko had grown up. We got to ride a tram for part of the trip. What station are we at? Or where did we get off?
Machiya Nichome?
Machiya Nichomi Station. It was a short walk from the tram.
And you think it's just around the corner here?
Yes, you just turn left.
There we were, in a row of nondescript businesses along a road facing the tram tracks, tucked inside a small room with a rolling garage door style entrance, and someone was using the machine as we approached. Aiko translated the signage for me.
It means polish, rice, place.
Polish rice place.
Yes.
Okay. And then this is coin.
Yeah, coin.
Okay, so David, what do you have here?
I have rice that is made in Chiba Prefecture, which is where my office is. And this is a kind of genmai, I believe, which is unpolished.
Basically, this looks like brown rice to me, and that kind of short grain. Oh, this is so great. Okay, so right now we see a girl and maybe her dad, and they're polishing their rice.
Aiko asked the customers a few questions and told them what we were up to, these 4 Americans and all this recording equipment. They let me check out their polished rice.
Oh, wow, it's hot.
アメリカから精米した
It's warm.
そう遊びに来たついで精米所探して This is because it's coming.
Oh, is it? We might want to take
It's
a
a
quick break here.
different festival, but it's
A very opportune moment.
So our rice polishing adventure has been briefly interrupted by a festival that is coming down the street.
Coming towards us were people in traditional regional dress playing instruments and chanting. There were men with a large decorative shrine hoisted on their shoulders, which they swayed and dipped dramatically, and the crowd responded. Later that evening, we had plans to head to the site of a larger festival, so when the procession turned, we didn't follow them and headed back to our task.
That's very cool.
When we got back to the rice polishing kiosk, someone else was using it. Aiko engaged in conversation.
何やります上白
標準にしましたね。
ね上白しちゃうとなんかもったいないから Where are you from in America?
Indiana。
インディアナステートの
すいません、ありがとうございます。教えていただいて。
ありがとう。
Have a nice day.
Oh, thank you.
Then it was our turn. I noticed there was a dustpan and a hand broom hanging next to the machine.
What is this?
And Aiko said that's for cleaning up.
これは
You don't want bugs or mice showing up.
So what this reminds me of a little bit is a coffee grinding machine that we have at grocery stores sometimes. So you put it, there's like a big opening for the bin, and then we can pour it in.
Okay.
Shut the lid. Okay, now we go over to the coin.
Someone has to.
Oh, we need a little bit bigger bag. Oh, you know what? I have something. Maybe that would work. But of course,
Somebody have to hold it?
Yeah, someone has to.
Okay.
Okay,
So what are these different?
She won. Oh, it's like a 70%.
I thought we
You load the rice into a hopper. You get your bag in position. Insert your coins. Select what level of polishing you want. And then there's a foot pedal that releases the rice. And there's even a little door you can push open to see the polished rice going down the chute and into the bag.
Coin here, 100 yen, 200 yen.
Okay, we're ready.
And it's get started, right? And it's like a window. It's the rice is coming here.
Oh, okay.
It's coming, not yet, but it's coming soon. It's coming. Rice shower.
That might be it. Wow.
Yeah, it's most polished.
Oh, wow. It almost feels like it's cooked.
So it looks like it.
That's so great. Oh, I love it. Okay, so it's basically a rice polishing vending machine. And it's just here at this tram stop. Now, the one you saw before was in a rural area, so you could understand why people would want it because maybe they have raw rice. But here, why are people doing this in the city? Like why don't they just buy their rice white? Aiko had asked the people who were using the machine before us. She said in one case, they just accidentally bought the wrong rice. They got brown rice, but they wanted white. In the other case, they generally get brown rice and then come here to have it freshly polished.
Because the fresh ones really taste good. The rice, it's just fresh rice, polished rice.
That totally makes sense. It's like fresh ground coffee
Yeah,
tastes better.
Right.
That is great. Okay. But I'm seeing here looking that you can't have the kind where it's still got the hull on it. It's more just if it's still got the bran, the rice bran on it, but you can't have it totally raw with the hull.
Straight from the
Right. Okay.
It's not good.
So it's probably not for people in rural areas where rice is growing because that's what they would have. Might be that. So, this is really interesting. Wow, it's fantastic. I love it. David noticed another door on the side and wanted to know what's behind it. Turns out it's where the bran goes.
Usually in rural area, we can take we call nuka, the stuff back home to make like fermented pickles, like nukazuke. Or you can use those stuff for put the nuka in a sachet, like small bag, cotton bag, and then you can just polish your skin.
Oh, nice. Okay, so like a beauty product.
Yeah.
Like
But
a beauty.
it's like rocked, so we can just
Yeah. Aiko said that her family did this when she was growing up.
around like
They would
5
buy
kilos,
brown
10
rice from a
kilos.
farmer and then bring 5 or 10 kilos at a time to one of these polishing stations. Did you think it was fun as a kid, or was it just another chore?
It was fun, It was fun just watching the machine and the rice goes down, and then, it's fun. It was fun.
Yeah. I really like the foot pedal.
Yeah.
So it's like it builds up in that one
Here and then
chamber, and then once it's gone through, then
then you
you
just
once
put-
it's
yeah.
built up, then you go,
Okay, that was, and then it just goes down.
and then that way you make sure your bag is ready.
Yeah.
And it's like if you were
Otherwise,
doing
it
it
would
by
be
yourself, you would need that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So just put usually rice is like packed with paper bag. It's not the plastic bag. Like brown rice. It's easy to just stand there itself, right?
Oh, a couple of grains came out. Oh, this is great. Okay, and then afterwards, you have to sweep it up.
Yes.
Don't want any bugs.
Yeah.
Aiko explained that for some people it's important for them to have freshly polished rice.
Tastes much better than the rice sitting in a supermarket.
Yeah, it totally makes sense to me. And sometimes, brown rice will go bad.
Yeah.
like it can go bad faster than white rice, I think. Like I feel like you have to use it right away, or else you gotta keep it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for showing me this. It's really fun and interesting.
That's fun.
David, I would just like to thank you for telling me about this and taking me here and showing me this.
This has been a dream come true because we've been planning this for months, and I didn't know how or where it was going to happen, but so pleased that we could do this. And it was fun for me, too, because I haven't done this either, so it was a blast.
So can you tell me who you are?
I'm David Gann, the office cook from Tokyo University of Science.
I thought you were from Saitama, Japan.
I am from Saitama, Japan, but I work in Chiba. Cook in my office.
Thank you so much. What about you, Cosmo? What do you think?
I thought it was fun.
Thanks for holding the bag. You did the important job.
Somebody's got to hold the bag.
That was recorded in June of 2024.
Hey, Kate. Earth Eats is great and all, but have you heard about Nice Work?
Yeah, I'm your co-host, remember?
I thought Tyler Lake was my co-host.
Yep, and me. It'll be great.
Yeah, you're right. That'll be great. And kidding aside, we have a new show coming up. It's called Nice Work, and it's about art and culture in Southern Indiana.
We'll keep you up to date about what's going on, what to check out, and we'll bring you behind the scenes so you can see how people make the things that they make, whether they're painters, puppeteers, poets, or bike poloists.
And the show itself will have short pieces about upcoming events, longer conversations about what goes into creative work, voices of people in the community doing interesting things.
There's so much going on in Bloomington and Columbus and Terre Haute and across our listening area.
Right. We'll talk with the organizations that are making things happen, putting on shows. We'll hear about their upcoming seasons, and
we're going to cover food, too.
True.
This next piece is an example of what you'll be hearing on Nice Work. Our co-host, Tyler Lake, produced it.
Right. So, there's a new ice cream shop on Bloomington's west side. It's tucked away in a strip mall. It's so far from traffic that it's basically an if you know, you know kind of place. Well, we want you to know. So Tyler managed to find his way there to learn about this shop that already has a reputation for unique flavors.
The owner of Ale's Ice Cream is Alejandrina Marquez, Ale. When I walked in, she gave me a big, warm smile. It made me feel special.
Very good. Are you Ale?
Yes.
Hi.
I played it cool later when I realized everyone gets that smile. I looked at the ice cream menu. It's horchata, queso fresco, sweet corn. There was also chocolate and pecan and Cookie Monster, like the usual suspects. But I wanted to try a flavor I'd never had before.
This is some Mexican flavors. All ice cream is made up with a cream base, and they add the real fruit, like mango, or they use corn, so it's made up with the real corn. We do not just have ice cream. We have popsicles. We have snacks. This is like a real Mexican ice cream shop. It's called in Mexico Paleteria. And Paleteria has ice cream and snacks.
She said the idea came to her after a trip home to Pueblo, Mexico.
And I try all these flavors that come back in my memories when I grew up. And I'm like, hey, I need to bring it to our town. A lot of people love Mexican food, so they're going to love Mexican ice cream. I never see anybody bring a Mexican ice cream. So the popsicles are called paletas. Perfect.
This isn't Allie's first gig. She works at Cook Medical and comes here in the afternoons. It really feels like this is her happy place, and that feeling's infectious. So I went in planning to try the horchata ice cream that everyone had told me about, but I actually never got around to it because Ale told me about the queso fresco ice cream that everyone seems to really love these days. And I think it's because it has these pockets of salty, crumbly cheese in it.
The cheese, Mexican crumbled cheese. We sell both, but the most popular is the blackberry. Some people like the fruit, some people don't. So that's what we had it without and with.
Which one are you going to set me up with?
Well, because I love the blackberry, I'm gonna let you try this blackberry. Okay, ready? So the fruit and the salty, it has chunks of the queso, but also has the seed of the blackberry. So it's a good combination. It's one of my favorites, called zarzamora in Spanish.
Zarzamora.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Okay, I'll go let you try the crazy one, the corn. Elote is a corn, sweet corn.
Wait. Can you get an elote and try it with me? I want to hear you tell me about it.
Okay. Okay, I will try it with you. It's creamy, rich, and it's like frozen corn. What do you think?
Popcorn, corn right off the cob, it kind of tastes.
Yeah, it's very delicious.
It's the most Indiana ice cream I've ever had.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see? It's Indiana ice cream. You're right.
So I could tell Allie really gets a kick out of surprising customers. But she brought something else up like several times. And I think what really gets her excited is when customers tell her there's something in these flavors that remind them of home.
It makes me so happy when I see people trying a new flavor. When I see the joy of their face when like, like kind of remind their own fruit, another name in their country. And it's like I kind of bring everybody together, like made me so excited. But thank you so much.
See you soon.
Adios.
Adios.
That was Tyler Lake. He'll be a co-host along with me, Alex Chambers, and you, Kate Young, on WFIU's new show, Nice Work.
You know, Alex, I didn't even know about Ale's until Tyler made this piece. Like you said, it's off the beaten path.
Right. And that's what we're going to be doing on Nice Work, introducing you to people and places in the community that you may not have heard about.
And that's the kind of local coverage you support when you donate to WFIU. We're in our fall fund drive. And when you support WFIU, you cultivate community, knowledge, empathy, and curiosity. You equip the public with essential information to navigate daily life. When you become a monthly WFIU donor, you're helping to amplify the long-term strength, optimism, and resilience of this station and your community.
And you know the other thing, Kate? I just like hearing local voices on the radio.
Yeah.
It's something that public radio does really well, and it's a big part of our goal on Nice Work, keeping you in touch with the people and the culture of our region.
Yeah.
Support this work at 800-662-3311 or online at wfiu.org/donate.
This drive, we're counting on listeners like you to step up and keep local voices strong. Your gift today powers the future of public broadcasting. Strength in local journalism and music and art and culture begins with people like you who support it. Become our newest monthly donor or increase, maybe even double, your sustaining support to keep our whole community informed, engaged, and inspired through this valuable programming. Help us to meet this moment. Help us to be strong, resilient, and here for you.
You're listening to the radio right now. You might not be listening to the radio later today, and it could be easy for it to slip your mind. Take care of your contribution right now while you're thinking about it. Public broadcasting is indispensable. Make sure WFIU has the resources to serve you and everyone in our community in the ways that you rely on and expect. Donate right now at 800-662-3311 or online at wfiu.org/donate.
Think about what you can contribute each month and set up or increase your sustaining membership to provide the best possible support for WFIU. 800-662-3311 is the number to call, or go to wfiu.org/donate.
And thanks.
Yes, thank you. And Alex, thank you for joining me on this special episode of Earth Eats, this special fall fundraiser episode of Earth Eats.
My pleasure, Kate. Always good to be on Earth Eats with you.
And that's it for the show this week. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. But we won't see you any more times after that, just next time. The Earth Eats team includes Eobon Binder, Alex Chambers, Aaron Kane, Toby Foster, Luann Johnson, Leo Pies, Samantha Schimenauer, and we partner with Harvest Public Media. Earth Eats is produced and edited by me, Kate Young, Our theme music is composed by Aaron Toby and performed by Aaron and Matt Toby. Additional music on the show comes to us from Universal Production Music. Our executive producer is Eric Bolstridge.